Hello, I'm Chris Levels, and I want to welcome you to Politics Prophecy. And today I am going to be taking a segment from a radio show that I did a few years ago, but I find it to be highly appropriate for today. So I want to share this segment with you. I hope it blesses you in light of what's going on in Texas right now with Tropical Storm Harvey, which I don't know why they're calling tropical storm. It's a hurricane. And the people that are suffering down there, I want to give a special shout out to the Cajun Navy and the work that they're doing down there, the, the way they are courageously putting their lives at risk and even flying the Confederate flag. I don't see any Antifa or BLM in any boats down there helping people. But I want to give a special shout out to those brave souls that are going out there and helping their neighbors. And of course, I'm praying for the people down there. I hope you are too. And I hope that the response in terms of the emergency supplies that they need get there safely and quickly and efficiently. So, on top of that, this is going to be a tribute to the fallen soldiers that are serving our country right now in different parts of the world. And I hope you enjoy it. Take care. God bless. Have a wonderful day. Bye bye.
Members of the Cajun Navy gathered in the parking lot of a sporting goods store in this city's Summer Meadows neighborhood early Monday, bleary-eyed, wearing waders, and smoking cigarettes or chewing tobacco. But most important, towing boats. The ragtag crew of Louisiana natives flowed into Houston from all over the Pelican State in customized trucks and SUVs to rescue Texans trapped by rising floodwaters brought by Hurricane Harvey. They brought in john boats, fishing boats, rowboats, airboats, even canoes and kayaks. We don't wait for help. We've been there before. If we weren't out here doing this, then there might not be any other rescue units. I mean, we do it because it's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to help our neighbors, said Clyde Kane, who started the Cajun Navy outside New Orleans in the wake of 2005's Hurricane Katrina.
But I do have hope for Americans because there are so many reasons. You just see almost on a daily basis, you see Americans standing up for one another, helping out their neighbors that they don't know. There's not a more charitable group of people on this earth than the American people when it comes to helping people in natural disasters and just having a compassion for people. So, as a matter of fact, leading into that, I'm going to share an email with you that as a former military person, I was really touched by this. And the fact that we cannot forget, just because the media is not telling you all about it, we cannot forget that there are men and women overseas right now, which in my opinion, they shouldn't be because we're not trying to win the wars. So it really doesn't make any sense to have them. We need them on our borders, controlling the inflow of illegal immigration. But instead, they're out there risking their lives against the enemy that wants to kill all infidels and your sons and daughters. And if they get the chance, to kill us too. And I'll start out. It's about a family who's bringing their son back that was killed in a military action, and they're on an airline. And it starts out, and this is from the airline captain. He writes, "My lead flight attendant came to me and said, 'We have a HR on this flight.' HR stands for human remains. 'Are they military?' I asked. 'Yes,' she said. 'Is there an escort?' I asked. 'Yes, I already assigned him a seat.' 'Would you please tell him to come to the flight deck? You can board him early,' I said." A short while later, a young Army sergeant entered the flight deck. He was the image of the perfectly dressed soldier. He introduced himself and I asked him about his soldier. The escorts of these fallen soldiers talk about them as if they are still alive and still with us. "My soldier is on his way back to Virginia," he said. He proceeded to answer my questions but offered no words on his own. I asked him if there was anything I could do for him and he said no. I told him that he had the toughest job in the military and that I appreciated the work that he does for the families of our fallen soldiers. The first officer and I got up out of our seats to shake his hand. He left the flight deck to find his seat. We completed our pre-flight checks, pushed back and performed an uneventful departure. About 30 minutes into our flight, I received a call from the lead flight attendant in the cabin. I just found out the family of the soldier we are carrying is on board, he said. He then proceeded to tell me that the father, mother, wife, and 2-year-old daughter were escorting their son, husband, and father home. The family was upset because they were unable to see the container that the soldier was in before we left. We were on our way to a major hub at which the family was going to wait 4 hours for the connecting flight home to Virginia. The father of the soldier told the flight attendant that knowing his son was below him in the cargo department and being unable to see him was too much for him and the family to bear. He had asked the flight attendant if there was anything that could be done to allow them to see him upon our arrival. The family wanted to be outside by the cargo door to watch the soldier being taken off the airplane. I could hear the desperation in the flight attendant's voice when he asked me if there was anything I could do. "I'm on it," I said. I told him that I would get back to him. Airborne communication with my company normally occurs in the form of email-like messages. I decided to bypass this system and contact my flight dispatcher directly on a secondary radio. There is a radio operator in the Operations Control Center who connects you to the telephone of the dispatcher. I was in direct contact with the dispatcher. I explained the situation I had on board with the family and what it was the family wanted. He said he understood and that he would get back to me. 2 hours went by and I had not heard from the dispatcher. We were going to get busy soon and I needed to know what to tell the family. I sent a text message asking for an update. I saved the return message from the dispatcher and this following is the text. "Captain, sorry it's taken so long to get back to you. There is a policy on this now and I had to check on a few things. Upon your arrival, a dedicated escort team will meet the aircraft. The team will escort the family to the ramp and plane side. A van will be used to load the remains with the secondary van for the family. The family will be taken to their departure area and escorted into the terminal where the remains can be seen on the ramp. It is a private area for the family only. When the connecting aircraft arrives, the family will be escorted onto the ramp and plane side to watch the remains being loaded for the final leg home. Captain, most of us here in flight control are veterans. Please pass our condolences on to the family. Thanks." I sent a message back telling flight control thanks for a good job. I printed out the message and gave it to the lead flight attendant to pass on to the father. The lead flight attendant was very thankful and told me, "You have no idea how much this will mean to them." Things started getting busy for the descent, approach, and landing. After landing, we cleared the runway and taxied to the ramp area. The ramp is huge with 15 gates on either side of the alleyway. It is always a busy area with aircraft maneuvering every which way to enter and exit. When we entered the ramp and checked in with the ramp controller, we were told that all traffic was being held for us. There is a team in place to meet the aircraft, we were told. It looked like it was all coming together. Then I realized that once we turned the seatbelt sign off, everyone would stand up at once and delay the family from getting off the airplane. As we approached our gate, I asked the co-pilot to tell the ramp controller we were going to stop short of the gate to make an announcement to the passengers. He did that and the ramp controller said, "Take your time." I stopped the aircraft and set the parking brake. I pushed the public address button and said, "Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. I have stopped short of our gate to make a special announcement. We have a passenger on board who deserves our honor and respect. His name is Private X, a soldier who recently lost his life. Private X is under your feet in the cargo hold. Escorting him today is Army Sergeant X. Also on board are his father, mother, wife, and daughter. Your entire flight crew is asking for all passengers to remain in their seats to allow the family to exit the aircraft first. Thank you." We continued the turn to the gate, came to a stop, and started our shutdown procedures. A couple of minutes later, I opened the cockpit door. I found the 2 forward flight attendants crying, something you just do not see. I was told that after we came to a stop, every passenger on the aircraft stayed in their seats, waiting for the family to exit the aircraft. When the family got up and gathered their things, a passenger slowly started to clap his hands. Moments later, more passengers joined in, and soon the entire aircraft was clapping. Words of "God bless you," "I'm sorry," "Thank you," "Be proud," and other kind words were uttered to the family as they made their way down the aisle and out of the airplane. They were escorted down to the ramp to finally be with their loved one. Many of the passengers disembarking thanked me for the announcement I had made. They were just words, I told them. I could say them over and over again, but nothing I say will bring back that brave soldier. I respectfully ask that all of you reflect on this event and sacrifices that millions of our men and women have made to ensure our freedom and safety in these United States of America. As a footnote, it says, as a Vietnam veteran, I can only think of all the veterans, including the ones that rolled below the deck on their way home, and how they were treated. When I read things like this, I am proud that our country has not turned our backs on our soldiers returning from the various war zones today, and give them the respect they so deserve. I know that every Vietnam veteran who reads this will have tears in their eyes, including me. It's just, we need to remember that even though if we disagree with these people that are putting these military people in harm's way, that there are actually families that are suffering losses out there. And there are so many young people who are in the military that actually believe in the fact that they are helping people in other countries and are willing to do so, are willing to fight and die. We still have a lot of brave people in this country, and our youth is to be honored, and those that direct them. Pray for them.
And ladies and gentlemen, currently we're going through the 2 fire trucks giving us a water salute for the warrior on board.